Welcome to this is the second episode of the Epic Hour
20.
Do you know what we need? We need an epic drama that goes.
I think I need a guitar.
And then you do those.
Mababa, remember.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, you know we're always having a fantastic day at the Epic Hour. That's one thing. You know what? I'm gonna miss this show.
Why?
Because another presenter is coming. What's happening to me? I'm going for training.
Oh, good.
I'm going for training.
And improved you. A Mark 2 of youth. Much appreciated.
Okay, so what we've decided to do, we always have like what we call the master class, where we talk about energy issues, we talk about energy solutions. So last week we were talking about if you're renting a small place, a small apartment, you could have a small little unit that's the size of a TV
for you.
And it can, not the flat screen. I'm talking about the original TV. You know the one. Yeah, you could have something slightly smaller, but it could power your TV, your refrigerator, your lights, and you could also have your landlord knocking to charge their phones. And if your landlord needs you, it's in your interest.
Talk to him.
So if you want to know more about that, just scroll backwards and then see the previous episode. But I felt like, because a lot of people were asking so many questions about what else did you talk about in 2019. So today we're just going to recap the many amazing things that we talked about from last year. What did we talked about? Solar panels. We talked about the placement where you're saying you need to get this protractor from NASA.
Nah, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Let's
Dude, I was listening.
You weren't listening.
No, you said you need to get a specific protractor from NASA.
No, I said a specific orientation, not a specific protractor.
No, you said you need a protractor.
You know what a protractor is?
Okay, what do we need?
Alright, I think just to recap from where we started, the Epic Masterclass. Last year we talked about panels.
Yep.
We talked about inverters. We talked about batteries. And basically we talked about the system architecture.
Okay.
Of a solar system, of a basic solar system. Right, on the panels, we basically ran...
No, we can't go into in depth because they need to rewind. No. That's the reason why we recorded it, isn't it?
They need to rewind. I just went through for the newer guys, not everyone.
No, but they can call, they can send an email, they can send a WhatsApp down there. That's why we've got technology.
So no need to go there. Should I?
Maybe they can pay for it.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so in the next 5 minutes, I'm basically going to give you a basic rundown of the basic components.
Okay, yeah.
That basically consists of a solar system. When they say solar, it's basically the panels. Everyone knows that it's the panels.
No.
I assumed everyone was in the last class last
year. No, you've got it wrong. Okay. I'm the expert because I had 1 year lessons at Epic Energy, where I was taught solar system, and I'm about to get a degree in solar energy. Epic Energy are taking me to where are they taking me to? Probably CSO.
So talk to me. What were you saying?
The first thing you need is the sun.
Exactly. I said there's a sun.
No. You said the solar panel.
You can have the sun without the solar panel. There's no solar to talk about anyway. Alright, so the basic components of a solar system
are the sun.
The sun, definitely the sun, right?
Exactly.
Then the solar panel.
Yes.
The cabling from the solar panel, probably to the controller or to the inverter.
Okay.
Then the regulator or the charge controller.
Yep.
Then the inverter. Then the batteries. Then the cabling from the inverter to the setup that's already there.
Okay.
Right. So
you forgot one thing. You forgot one thing. They need Epic Energy to install it.
Exactly. They need energy, Epic Energy from the start.
Okay.
We are basically going to tell them how what they need, what's going to be installed, and they're going to do the installation.
And we also talked about the different components, how there's so many fake products going out
in the market,
and how it's important to get an installation company that's regulated, that's certified, and that knows what they're doing. We talked about how it's important to have a company like Epic Energy where everything comes with a warranty. And you've got 24/7 customer service support. So you can just phone me at No, not me. Phone Tinashe
At 2
2 a.m. in the morning and say, Tinashe, the electricity is working. No, the electricity is working. Because most everything we all do always works. It's working. I just wanted to say thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Just
and on that note, we're just going on a commercial break. Right. Remember, guys, if you've got questions, I know we're joking and everything.
Yeah.
If you've got questions, if you need help, quotations are for free.
Side visits are for free within Harare.
Yes, and we're always here to support you and to assist you. So any questions that you have, this is the Epic team, and if you want epic results,
talk to the Epic team.
Just talk to the Epic teams. Do you know something?
What?
I think human beings have got a genetic problem.
And that's
no. Human beings have, it's a microscopic, gigantic, infinitesimal problem.
Which is?
It starts from birth and it affects every human being that's got hair, eyes, feet, nose.
So you're saying from birth till death?
It's
There's
continuous.
one problem that
No,
goes.
it actually grows. The more you eat, the bigger it grows. Now, this problem, what it does is, if you tell a human being, don't touch that, you will get burnt. What do they do?
They'll try and touch.
Yeah,
and get burnt.
Yeah, and when you tell them, no, go to Epic Energy where you don't get disappointed, what do?
They'll try other companies.
On that note,
to a
commercial break. I told you 2020. Seriously, do you know one thing I love about 2020? Like, remember in the 90s and in the... Do you remember? You were not born yet, isn't it? and they were talking about Vision 2020, Vision 2020.
Yeah.
And I was like, Vision 20, is that a car? Is that an aeroplane? Is that a spaceship?
I actually didn't think that year was possible, eh?
But here we are.
Yeah.
Remember, like, when there was the panic about the Y2K compliant? And you know what? You actually go and look at your school certificates. Are they Y2K compliant?
Exactly, yeah.
And here we are, Vision 2020. Does it feel special?
I think for me it feels special because like you're saying, it is a year that I never thought, I thought Jason and Gadzoka, and so it's not one of those years I thought, everyone will still be there, but yeah, that's when you understand that time moves, and when you plan, don't look at it and say 10 years from now and think it's a long time. Time can really
tomorrow.
Fly. It's tomorrow.
I was talking to a few friends of mine, and I was like, I'm already working towards 2023, and they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, because 2020 is gone.
Exactly.
And you know, I remember I worked for Odeon. We always had like for example now, that the plan for 2021 was always in place. Right at the very start of 2020.
Right.
So what you are doing today was planned a year ago. And okay, in case you didn't know this, Zimbabwe is going to the Dubai Expo 2020.
Right.
And I love my government, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to work with some of the people that are organizing the Fashion Week, because it's a 6 months long festival.
Wow.
So in 2019, Zimbabwe had plans, and they had, done already pilot episodes of what they're going to show in Dubai 2020.
Wow.
And now the particular Fashion Week is in 2021. And they started planning for it in October 2019. So, and that's Zimbabwe for you. And a lot of people don't know that, these people actually plan. And I was impressed when I was in there. And I was like, what? I really felt proud being Zimbabwean.
That's
saying,
true.
Look,
that's true.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And I saw the designs of what the stand is going to look like. I can't tell you, because you have to be privileged like me.
Well, I hope I'll be in Dubai to see it for myself.
but it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic.
That's
but
great.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm such a selfish person.
I can see that.
I know about Dubai.
Right.
I know your name. They don't know your name.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to have Jefferson Muserere with us today.
It's a pleasure.
He's a ZBC presenter. You're on Coke on the Beat.
All right.
You're a model.
All right.
You're a brand ambassador. I don't know for how many. I'll keep quiet. You're going to tell us.
Right.
You're a public figure. You're a celebrity, and you're an icon. Most men actually go and look at his Facebook just to find out what suit should I buy, what tie should I buy. No, I'm being very honest.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Sometimes people have seen my page. Can you ask him where does he get his clothes from? And I'll be
Okay.
like, how much have you got, bruh?
Yeah.
But how did it start? Like your whole career. What's the journey been like?
It started the day I wore my Pampers. I never used to spoil them that much. Okay, but seriously, I think my school days. I'm one of those guys who always used to win smartest boy in school.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think I got that from my dad especially.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a man who's always up to scratch with
Clean shaven, I suppose.
all the time. All the time. His hair is totally white, but you will never see it white. Yeah, you'd probably think he's my older brother.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an epic fact, in case you didn't know. Back to the epic man.
Yeah. So, well, I can say after I finished my O-levels,
Yeah.
that was in 99, then I had a cousin of mine who was organizing Mr. Miss Schools.
Okay.
So I never thought of modeling and etc. But she then called me up and said, "Why don't you join up and
Okay.
be part of this competition?" So I joined up, and but although it was a joke to me,
You won.
yeah, I actually won. I was Mr. Schools. Yeah.
And with the perks that come, can I please have your number? Can I please have your number?
It was interesting. At 16 years old on the night, I had banners written, "Will you marry me?" So I was wondering where they thought I was going to get the lobola from. But
Another epic moment for you. At
Yeah.
16.
yeah.
Jeez, I never had a girlfriend until I was what? I finished high school even without a girlfriend.
I actually did the same.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. I
But
did
now,
the same.
kids nowadays, do you know, 7-year-old, I remember I was speaking to one parent who's like, my 7-year-old was like, "Dad, I want to introduce you to my girlfriend."
Yeah.
And the guy,
They already know that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
TV. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so 99, I became Mr. Schools and I was sent up by Size for Modeling Agency.
Uh-huh.
That's with, actually the guy who scouted me is Pesim Tasa.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to remember people who did well in my career. And then I was trained at Size for Modeling Agency, which is still being run by Mr. Rukato, Ubet Rukato. So from there, that's when I discovered, this is actually my thing, and the confidence was there. So I won another competition. I was Mr. Youth Zimbabwe. That was in 2000. That's when I think everything started to shoot up. Yeah, because I won a gym contract, so I then discovered the gym, and so then Supermodel was there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and I entered Supermodel and did quite well. Didn't manage to win it, but I think I did pretty well. Then my career just continued from there. But I think one of the things that really built me to be a successful model was the zeal to learn.
Yeah.
And also the fact that every day of my life I take serious, what word can I put there? I make sure that every day of my life I'm on point. I try to do that in terms of my dressing.
I can testify to that. I've worked with Jefferson for how many years now? How many years have we worked together?
Wow, right.
I'm always behind camera and he's in front of camera.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years now.
Yeah, and every time he arrives on time. Today's interview, it's been what? 4 days. So what should I wear? What time? Where is it? Are these colors okay? And he's texting you.
Yeah.
And everything just has to be on point.
Yeah, I really think it's important, and it also shows, especially when you work with other people, it shows that you are taking what they're doing seriously. So I think reputation is what has maintained me in terms of the industry. I went to South Africa for some time. I think I went to South Africa in 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was there for 5 years. So that was quite a big learning curve for me in terms of the modeling industry.
Okay.
Because they are very professional in what they do. They take it seriously. If you've got a call-up time, it's 5 a.m. in the morning.
That's it.
For any advert, it's 5 a.m. even if you're going to shoot at 6 p.m. But they also want the first light. They want to try a few shots early in the morning. You spend the day, you got to have activities during the day. Then maybe your shoot is at 6 p.m. in the evening. So you make sure that if you're shooting that day, you are totally committed to them.
For that.
Yeah, because when they pay, they pay.
Okay, let's talk about the payments.
Right.
Okay, no, let's not talk about the payment. We keep the best for last. You hang in there. Be
All right.
patient. All right. I want to talk about this thing called modeling. Okay? Here's something I've observed. We love titles. You know, I love how when you're going through WhatsApp, these WhatsApp statuses and these Facebook profiles. A director, a filmmaker,
Right.
and you're like, so what have you made? Can you give me a link? No, I'm still in the process. But you're calling yourself a director, you're calling yourself a filmmaker, you haven't even made a film. Even with a cell phone, you haven't made a film.
Right.
Okay, coming back to what the point I want to try and have us discuss is, you have so many people claiming to be models. You look at them and you're like, okay.
Right.
I'm sure you've come across them. So what do you do
I
for a
definitely
living?
have, yeah.
And then they're like, I'm a model. Tip to toe. What is a model? Do we have an association where people get accredited? Just because you took your selfie doesn't make you a model.
Very true. I think there are a lot of ambitious people out there that, they're dreamers. They want to be models, but being a model is not a joke. I want to really put it across straight up. It's not a joke. If you go to an industry like in South Africa, models are actually graded. So if you are at a certain grade, you cannot be paid below a certain amount.
Serious?
Yeah. So it's actually said that in Zimbabwe, I can do an advert for a certain company and be paid the same amount as an overzealous young man who's just entered the industry. If it's 250, it's 250 for all of us. So in Zimbabwe, we don't have grade. There's no grading for models. So I think the main problem has been that modeling agencies themselves are not united.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot of individuals in terms of agencies. We've got people that want to prove a point to each other, that want to say, I've got the best models and etc. So there's been efforts to try and come up with associations for models and etc. to try and have them graded, but we've always seen that there's always a hustle. People are always pulling each other the wrong side and etc. So nothing has ever been really tangible in terms of coming up with an association for models. We've got there's the Model Association of Zimbabwe, which is trying to push where Rukato is actually there, and the likes of Karen. Who runs Top Model. So they're trying to do that, but you still find that there's other agencies that will not be interested because they feel this is your thing, and always the issue is about money. So I think if agencies were to get to a point where it's not about money but about building the industry, where even the government takes us seriously, they can even in the arts industry we can actually approach them and say, we need a fund, something to fund this particular, because modeling is something that is very important in our country actually. You find every corporate needs a model. For anything to happen, you need someone with a good image to advertise you, to look good with your product, and it is so agencies are the problem at the moment.
And not only is it that corporates need you, I actually think that whether we like it or not, models are the face of Zimbabwe.
Definitely.
When foreigners are looking at images, the ones that pop up the most with the greatest number of likes are the models. So the models literally represent Zimbabwe.
Definitely.
We make them look good. We make Zimbabwe look good.
Exactly.
And if we appreciate them, I think there's more to gain.
I think so. I think there's more to gain, because right now you find a lot of people that have great potential to be models, but they have,
just given up.
They're not interested in the industry because they see it's not rewarding. It's you're there, but so what? Nothing is coming up in your pocket. You find a lot of models struggle if they don't do other things, if they don't go to work, unlike in other countries where someone can be a model and actually be able to pay their rentals and
from modeling.
Yeah, from modeling, exactly.
And what about in cases like I've got a friend also in the modeling circles.
Right.
She attended a shoot, And then she was told that the company didn't like the images, or they turned down the job, whatever it was. And then not long after, Sam Levy, she's on the billboard. And she's got nothing.
Nothing was
She
paid.
tried to push, can I get paid for using my image? And even if you were to go to the lawyers, they want something up front. And here you have someone now, their image is being used. And is there an association? Is there somewhere where she can report and get support from within the modeling circles for abuse?
Unfortunately, no. At the moment, we don't have a place where a model can actually go and report, and that issue can be addressed, and they can actually be rewarded for the job they've done. Because although I've spoken of one association that is trying to build up, but right now in terms of legally, it's not at that tangible. You can't really go and report to them and they can help you out. So right now models are in an island, it's just their own little place where whatever company wants to come and abuse you, they come and pick one.
That's it.
And then they use you, and
what's
what's sad is companies, what they do now is they tend to want to look so professional. They want to look as if you're the one that's not so well organized. They tell you you're not good enough for this advert, you didn't appear well in the advert, but yet what they're paying the model, and they can use an advert for 5 years, 6 years, but what they're paying the model is ridiculous. I don't want to lie.
It's not worth 5 years.
You're looking at a commercial, and someone is getting paid $10 for a commercial that lasts years and years. So it doesn't make sense in our industry, where if you go to another industry in a country that is in our region, you find a child is as old as 8 years old getting paid 15 to 30,000. I'm talking about minimum. You can find people getting paid up to 80,000 for. It depends what company you're advertising for.
Yeah.
So these are kids that are getting paid this much. Now imagine
come back to Zimbabwe, $50.
a model is on his prime. He's getting paid $10 for an advert. So seriously, we're not anywhere with modeling in Zimbabwe at the moment.
And about the professionalism, the corporate professional, like she went to the company, and guess what she was told?
Right.
We dealt with this firm, we paid them. We shouldn't show you, but here's the paperwork to prove it. And then she goes to the advertising agent. No, we didn't use the pictures. We deleted them. But it's on the billboard. We don't know how they got them.
So
and
no one
she's
can
lost.
be answerable to.
Yeah, and it's sad. I think models are just exposed, and something really needs to be done. And hopefully this video, this discussion that we're going to have, if we can have have it stir up the discussion amongst the models to say,
Definitely.
look, we need, and I think maybe the other reason is people are afraid to speak up.
Exactly, that's very true. Like now, I know some of my peers would actually be saying, don't you want a job anymore? Aren't you in modeling anymore because you're talking like this? Because people are afraid to speak out, because they feel if I speak my mind out, companies are going to come and say, we don't want to work with you because you talk like this about us and etc. But I think it's very important that these companies hear this, because what's the difference with taking a child and making them do a job that an adult is supposed to do? And it's illegal. That's abuse.
Yeah.
So I know right now maybe in law we don't have that in terms of how models are being treated, but I think we somehow we might have it. But you're having a situation whereby someone's time is being wasted, someone's talent, someone's resources, because you find that model is going to use their transport to come to the shoot. And as I said, the companies want to look very professional. They want you there at 8, and if you're late, you're not. We can't work with you next time, And yet they're paying you peanuts. So you've used your transport. How much is a commuter to get to that place, or fuel, whatever it is you're using? They have to at times they have to dress themselves. That's the sad part. Most of these shoots that models go for, you have to provide your own wardrobe.
And wardrobe is expensive.
And wardrobe is expensive, and they expect you to look good. And sometimes models, they've got the good look, but when it comes to the wardrobe, they're not able to buy themselves. They can't maintain. Because, okay, let's say you've done 5-6 adverts in 1 year, and next year you want to do more adverts. It means your wardrobe is going to totally change because you can't use the same attires that you use for that particular advert. So you find models are going to be rated according to who's got enough money to buy themselves a good wardrobe. So you find with that, a lot of girls or even boys have started compromising themselves for the sake of building a wardrobe. They have to date someone who can buy them clothes.
Just to maintain that image.
Just to maintain that image.
And I just have two things I want to just comment from what he's just said. The first part is, I think what you've done is a very bold step, and it must be commended that he started speaking up for models. And this is at the expense of his career. What it now means is that any corporate that's going to work with him, that's evidence that they are doing the right thing.
Right.
Because if they're not going to work with him, it simply means it's because they're the dodgy ones.
Right.
Or maybe they don't want to work with you. But if any company works with him, it just shows that they're straight. Because if someone complains and their reasons are valid, if you're doing the right thing, then there's nothing to complain about.
Exactly.
So we need to stop blacklisting people. It's like even in the acting industry, some actors are not worked with simply because they talk too much. But if what they're saying is right, and if it's dealt with, they're not going to talk. They're not going to talk. So if you're doing it right, if your ethics are in order, he's the right person to speak to, on time, every time, and he takes his career very professionally. And then now the second thing I wanted to say. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Should.
I forgot what it is.
You kind of look blank.
Right. We need to now go on the area of remuneration.
Yeah.
Is it per day? Is it per hour? Do we rate it according to what other economies are paying in Southern Africa? How does that work?
To be honest with you, I've done a bit of my research in terms of remuneration for models regionally and okay, I can't go internationally because we can't compare to that definitely. So I've noticed Zimbabwe has the lowest paid models. And when you say lowest, it's close to nothing actually. We can't put them. I think if someone goes to work, we've got someone who's probably not permanent, they're getting an allowance or something. Then we've got someone who's getting a salary. So models are getting an allowance. You know, that's what I think. They're getting an allowance or lunch money, or I don't know what you can call it really, but they're just getting something to say, thank you for coming, basically. But there's really no appreciation to say, you know what, our company is now this big because you showed your face, because people identified you as someone we know. And then, you know, rather than getting pictures from magazines or Googling pictures of international people that we don't know, but that's what other companies have resorted to because they don't want to pay, you know. But yet, if you look at how much those companies are making per year and how much they're giving to the people that are making them who they are, it's very sad. Yeah, so you find that in terms of remuneration, we can't talk of remuneration in Zimbabwe at the moment, honestly.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
You know, I remember when I was in primary school, this is in Alfred Bait, one thing that my teacher taught me, I think his name was Mr. Mhlanga, he's now late.
Right.
He said, Billy, there's one thing you can do with a fact. In fact, he said there's two. He said it's either one of those two. It's either you accept it or you don't accept it, but it's not going to change a fact. And I think what you've said, based on what you're saying, that's a fact.
Yeah.
There is no remuneration. If there is, I think maybe the advertising agencies are pocketing it.
Let's go there. I think I was something to say about that.
Right. Let's just stop for a little bit. If you are watching this conversation, we want it to go viral. Every model has to see this. Every modeling agency has to see this. It's time we clean up the modeling fraternity.
Definitely.
It's and we've got someone who's putting his career on the line for the sake of other models. So if you're a model out there, if you call yourself a model, tag every model you know. Share this with every model, because it's time we clean up anti-corruption in the modeling agency.
Definitely.
This is Zimbabwe 2020.
Yes.
And remember, what we fix now, what we do now, is going to echo in eternity, like they say in the
It definitely is.
Gladiator.
Definitely is.
So
yeah.
you said you wanted to go to the modeling agencies. Let's go.
Yeah, actually advertising agencies. Okay, now this is what happens. When a company wants to do a commercial, they approach these agencies, right? And they say, you know what, we need to have an advert like so and so. And these advertising agencies then approach modeling agencies to say, we need someone with a look like this. This is what our clients want, and etc. etc. So you find the company is going to pay the advertising agency. Let me give an example. Let's say it's 2,000, right? They pay 2,000 to the advertising agency as a budget. 500 is for models, right? 1.5 is to do the production of the advert or the commercial. They go to the modeling agency, right? Here's 300 that our client gave us for you to give to the models, right? 200 is gone. They give the modeling agency $300, and the modeling agency tells you, you know, things are tough. Zimbabwe is very tough, and we got an advert, but you know, things are tough. So the client is paying, you know, $20.
500, 300, $20.
$20. And then from the $20, they want to take 30%.
Whoa.
Because modeling
Are you serious?
They charge 30%. Yes, if you do a commercial and you're done with it, they take 30% from what you earn. So from the $20, they're going to take 30%. Or 35%, depending with the agency you're working with. So
you're left with what? $14. From $500 to $14.
We haven't put my transport.
Oh, right. $500 to $14, and then probably there is 2%. I don't know, or commission for swipe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there'll always be transaction charges. So, guys, if you're a model and you're watching this and you're not tagging someone,
right?
Go delete that status written model, because if you're really a model, you're gonna share this and you want people to hear about this, because this is for your own good.
True.
We've got someone sacrificing himself for you. The very least you can do, in Shona they call it mcheka zafa. Just take other people.
Exactly.
And let's get the ball rolling. So we want you to comment on this page. Comment on this page, share on this page. We need to get the conversation rolling that's gonna fix the modeling agency. Because it's important.
It is.
And okay, let's talk about the youth. What would you advise someone that wants to go into advertising? And in particular, let's have a bias towards the young ladies that are innocent, that have not met Mr. Sharks.
Before I respond to that, okay. I don't want to entirely blame the girls that are in the modeling industry to say it's not all of them that do that, but you've got some that have really compromised. But I would like to say even the ones that have compromised, it's not entirely their fault. It's these things that I'm talking about, the abuse of agencies, either it's advertising or modeling agencies, that they get budgets but they trim them so small, such that by the time it gets to the model, for them to then say, I want to buy clothes for the next advert, they can't afford that. So the only way is for me to look for my shark, to look for my blesser, or whatever it is, and say, you know what, I need an outfit, I need this, and people need something in exchange. So at the end of the day, people are compromising, but it's not entirely their fault. So if
it's the system we need to fix.
Yes, if we fix the system, if these agencies do their things correctly, if they respect the model, because whatever it is, whether it's a company, a political party, a church, whatever, if they need someone to come out on their billboard, or they need someone who's got a good image, and all these people need to pay well. But they probably pay well, but when it goes to the agencies,
it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So
which comes back. I was having a discussion with someone today, and one of the things that's really key to me, I feel that Africa's problem can be summarized in one word.
Right.
All the problems we have in Africa can be summarized in one word: accountability.
Right.
Accountability means that if you lead, I'm leading a company. I'm accountable to my shareholders. I'm accountable to my employees, so they can question me.
Right.
So I'm not going to abuse my authority because I'm accountable. accountability. Now, who's bringing these agencies to accountability? Do we have that system? Is it something that we should lobby the government to say, look, this is the abuse that's there. People are being taken advantage of. The same way we have a minimum wage, why can't we also have a minimum wage for models?
Exactly.
How are we going to start this movement? We're talking about a revolution here. So this is your revolutionary leader in the modeling agency. Right. So we need to start this movement where models say, look, with one voice, we are tired of being taken advantage of. $2,000 is paid by the corporates. It goes to the advertising agency. The advertising agency then takes $500 to the modeling agency. The modeling agency then gives $20 to you, and then they take 30% from that $20. We need a revolution that brings these people to account. Somehow feel like this requires a sequel.
Okay.
I feel it requires a sequel because we need to talk about grooming. We need to talk about what you wear when you go for an interview.
Exactly.
When you go for dinner. I feel like there's a lot we could learn from your experience and from your exposure. And I hope that if we ask you to come to the Epic Hour, you'd come again because you're epic.
Ah, thank you.
You are epic.
And you got energy.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us in this Epic Hour. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation that we had. So Epic Hour, we talk about topical issues. It's all about epic conversation. We meet epic people. And it's all about epic energy. So if there's topics that you feel like we need to talk about, just get in touch with us on our Facebook page, social handles at the bottom of this page. And if you've got questions for Jefferson, he's an amazing person. He's always willing to assist. You're probably going on a date and you need to know, can you put on a pink shirt with a yellow tie? He'll help you out. So inbox your social handles.
All right. I think if you want to get me on social media, that's Facebook. It's Jefferson Mserera. If it's Instagram, Jefferson Mserera Official. So all the way it's Jefferson Mserera.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the man himself. And remember what I said. If you're a model and you're not tagging and sharing this, then you need to change your profession. Right. And that's my epic last word. And thank you, and see you again in the next episode. Remember, we always have got plenty and amazing surprises for you at the Epic Moment.